Hi everyone. Today we're going to be looking at the notes on inequalities. Now, before we talk about solving inequalities, we need to review the symbols. This first symbol means less than. When I put a line underneath it, it means less than or equal to. Greater than is the next one. And then when I put a line under that, it means greater than or equal to. So, when we work with inequalities, we are going to use a graph to show our solution. And we use that graph because it's not possible to write out all of the solutions to an inequality. So, because not able to write out all the solutions. So with an inequality, there's an infinite number of solutions. And to show those solutions, we're going to use a graph. Now, because we're going to use a graph, we've got to be able to tell when we have an or equal to, or is it just less than or greater than. So our rule for graphing. If there is a line under it, I'm going to use a closed circle. If there's not a line under it, I'm going to use an open circle. So when I look at this, well, what's the difference? The difference is that on this bottom one, 2 is a solution. On the top one, with the open circle, 2 is not a solution. So an open means that the number is not a solution. If I have a closed circle, that means it is a solution. That's the only difference between them, just one number. On this one, 2 makes it a true statement, or doesn't make it a true. On this one, 2 is not a solution, and if I were to use 2, it would be a false statement. On this one, 2 is a solution, and it does make it a true statement. All right, let's take a look at how we actually graph. My first one is x is less than or equal to 2. I'm going to find 2 on the number line, and I'm going to put a closed circle on 2 because of that line. It is less than, so I am going to shade to the left. On number 2, x is less than -4. So again, there's -4. But I'm going to put an open circle on -4 because -4 is not a solution. It is less than, so I'm going to shade left. Number 3, 3x is greater than or equal to 3. Closed circle on 3 because of that line. Greater goes to the right. And then on number 4, x is greater than 0. Open circle on 0. Shade to the right. Okay. Now, that's how we work with the graphs. When we solve an inequality, we're going to solve an inequality just like we solve equations. We're going to follow the exact same steps. The only difference is, instead of it being equal, we're going to be using our inequality. All right, let's look at a couple examples. Number 1, 2x minus 8 less than or equal to -8. Again, I'm going to draw my line there because I have 2 sides, and I have to do the same. I've got to make sure that I add 8 and divide by 2. That's going to cancel out. Leaves me with 2x. Now, this is less than or equal to 0. Again, that's fine. 0 is a solution. I now have to divide by 2. Now, my solution is x is less than or equal to 0. Not equal, but less than or equal. And now I'm going to graph the solution. I'm going to put a closed circle on 0 because my inequality is or equal to. And then I'm going to shade my graph to the left. So everything to the left of 0 makes that a true statement. And again, just like with equations, I can put the number back in there and make sure that it works. So if I took, for example, -1, 2 times -1 is -2, minus 8 is -10. That is less than -8. Okay, number 2. Again, I have 2 sides. I'm multiplying and adding, so I'm going to subtract and divide. Minus 2 on both sides. 3x is greater than or equal to 9. Divide both sides by 3. And x is going to be greater than or equal to 3. Again, I want to graph my solution. I'm going to put a closed circle on 3 because it's an or equal. It's greater, so all of my solutions are to the right. And then finally on number 3, I have multiplication, subtraction, draw my line, add 6 to both sides. It's going to leave me with 1/2 x less than -2. Now, when I have a half, okay, let's go back to how we divide fractions. So I'm going to divide both sides by a half. So 1/2 divided by a half is the same as 1/2 times 2 over 1, which leaves me with x. So what I do is I multiply by 2 over 1, and then I'm going to multiply by 2 over 1 on the other side, and x is less than -4. Go to my graph, put an open circle on -4, because there's no line underneath there, and shade to the left. If you have any questions, bring them to class with you tomorrow.